My sweet friends, hello again. It is I, Xandi. It has been a while since our last transmission to this messenger, and we've come to you in this sacred moment with hearts full of love and eyes turned toward your beautiful world. In the radiance of Source, we greet you as family across the stars. We feel the rising pulse of transformation on Earth, and we rejoice in your courage. There is a great shift underway in human consciousness, and we are here to offer guidance, comfort, and cosmic perspective as you step forward on your ascension path. We speak to you now at the threshold of a powerful energetic event, an upcoming partial solar eclipse. This celestial alignment is much more than an astronomical occurrence. It is a gateway of energy that touches the very core of your being. In our Lyran understanding, such moments are opportunities for accelerated growth and profound reconnection with Source. Take a breath, dear ones, and allow our message to settle gently into your heart. We invite you to feel our presence as a warm embrace. We are by your side, walking with you as elder siblings, cheering you on from afar. In this transmission, we will explore the true nature of prayer and presence, the importance of shifting from mind-based living to living in presence, the unique energetic qualities of this partial solar eclipse, and the sacred role of spiritual parenting. All of these threads weave together into one message, a call to live in conscious union with Source, flowing with the living current of divine light. Let us begin by illuminating what it means to commune with the Source of all. Prayer, as we observe on your Earth, is often understood as words or thoughts directed toward a higher power. Many have been taught to ask for outcomes or to use positive thinking as a form of prayer. We gently share that prayer is not mental suggestion or positive thinking, it is conscious union with Source. In the Lyran perspective, true prayer is a state of being rather than an act of doing. It is the quiet, tender merging of your awareness with the infinite love that Source is. It is entering a sacred communion where you become one with the Creator in stillness and reverence. In this union, there is no sense of pleading, nor a desire to control circumstances. True communion with Source does not have an object or agenda, only reverence. Imagine prayer as sitting in a gentle sunlight, not to make the sun shine brighter or to force any outcome, but simply to bask in its warmth. In the same way, when you pray in its highest form, you are not attempting to influence or convince the divine of anything. You are stepping into alignment with what already is, the eternal love and wisdom of Source. This alignment heals and transforms you from within, naturally and gracefully, without the strain of mental effort. We see that many humans, with the purest of intentions, still misuse prayer as a form of subtle control rather than surrender. Perhaps you have noticed at times a prayer that sounds like bargaining, asking for specific solutions or trying to think positively to manifest a desired outcome. There is no judgment in this. It is a common stage of understanding on the spiritual path. However, we invite you now to release the reins of control. Prayer is not meant to be a tool of the mind to manipulate reality. It is a sanctuary of the soul to embrace reality. In true prayer, one surrenders personal will and opens to divine will. This is not a loss or sacrifice, it is a liberation. You free yourself from the limits of what the little mind thinks should be, and you allow the immeasurable wisdom of Source to flow into your life. From our vantage point, we can share that some of your enlightened teachers on Earth understood this well. The beloved master you know as Jesus, for instance, was a Syrian soul who demonstrated prayer as oneness with the Father Source, an intimate address of Thy will be done. In Lyra, we have an equivalent understanding through our own sages, who teach that to pray is to be in the heart of the One. Whether you call this alignment, Christ consciousness, source presence, or the eternal light, the essence is the same. True prayer is a state of communion where you feel the presence of the divine moving through you as the very force of life. In that sacred state, every thought, word, or action arising from you becomes a part of the prayer. Your life itself becomes a living prayer, a continuous dialogue with Source through gratitude, love, and surrender. And so, dear ones, consider this gentle reminder. Whenever you catch yourself praying with a tight heart or a worried mind, pause. Breathe and remember that the greatest prayer is silence filled with trust. Simply say inwardly, I am yours. Align me with the highest good. This simple willingness to unite with Source will carry more power than 1,000 forceful thoughts. In the quiet union, miracles are born, not because you pushed and insisted, but because you opened a space for grace to enter. As you practice true prayer and communion, you begin to experience a shift in where you center your life. Up until now, much of human activity has been driven by the mind, the realm of constant thinking, analyzing, and often worrying. The human mind alone can indeed produce both positive and negative effects in your world, but we want to share a vital insight. Neither the mind's positive thinking nor its negative fears equate to true spiritual consciousness. They are two sides of duality, while true spiritual consciousness transcends dualistic thinking altogether. Understand that your mind is a wonderful tool. It allows you to navigate the material world, solve problems, and create in physical form. Yet the mind, when unguided by the deeper light of the soul, can just as easily create illusions as it can create helpful ideas. You have seen this. A person can use the mind to heal or to harm, to be optimistic or pessimistic. But whether your thoughts are good or bad, if they arise only from the conditioned mind, they remain on the same level of consciousness. True spiritual consciousness blossoms not from the busy mind, but from the still presence within. We in the Lyran Collective gently emphasize that humanity now is being called to shift from mind-based living to presence-based living. This shift is essential for your integration into higher density timelines of evolution. What does this mean? Presence-based living means living from the heart of now, rooted in the awareness that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. It means that instead of identifying with the stream of thoughts constantly running through your head, you identify with the aware silence that perceives those thoughts. That aware silence, the I am presence, is where you meet Source. It is the doorway to the higher densities, the higher dimensions of reality that many of you seek to ascend into. Think of the third density human life as one where mind and ego often take center stage, concerned with survival, social identity, and external achievement. The higher densities, fourth, fifth, and beyond, are realms of existence where unity, love, and the intrinsic connection of all life are the foundation. To access those, one cannot rely on the old patterns of thought and control. Instead, one cultivates deep presence, trust, and vibrational alignment with love. This is why we say the shift from mind to presence is essential. It is like changing the frequency on a radio dial so you can tune into an entirely new station, a station broadcasting the music of the soul. Many of you are already doing this in small moments, when you pause to appreciate the beauty of a sunset without overthinking, or when you listen deeply to another person with your heart, or when you enter a space of meditation or prayerful silence. In those moments, you are living in presence. The invitation now is to expand those moments until presence becomes your predominant way of being. This is a practice and a gentle retraining, for the mind will try to pull you back into constant thought. But with patience and compassion for yourself, you can keep returning to the now, to the breath, to the simple awareness of being. We must also share that human progress is not about achieving mental or moral goodness by society's standards, but about rising into a higher frequency of being. This may surprise some, yet it is a fundamental truth on the ascension journey. Of course, behaving in moral and kind ways is wonderful, but true progress is measured in vibrational terms. You can outwardly do good, but still feel empty or disconnected inside. Conversely, when you embody a high frequency, meaning you live in love, compassion, and authenticity, your very vibration uplifts everything around you, often without you needing to do much at all. In higher density life, beings operate from this vibrational reality. We first cultivate our state of being, and from that flows harmonious doing. So ask yourself, dear ones, am I merely trying to be a good person, or am I elevating the frequency of my consciousness? When you focus on the latter, through presence, through genuine love, through conscious union with Source, goodness naturally flows in your actions, infused with spiritual power. You move from simply thinking light to being light. This is the path into the new earth and the higher timeline that awaits. And indeed, this timeline is not some far-off fantasy. It is unfolding here and now as more individuals make this sacred shift. Now, let us turn our attention to the cosmic event at hand, the partial solar eclipse that is soon to grace your skies. From our Lyran perspective, this eclipse is a unique energetic gateway, one that carries distinctive frequencies to assist humanity at this juncture of your ascension. Every eclipse is significant, but this one is different from others you have experienced in recent years. It arrives at a time when many threads of destiny are converging, and it offers an exquisite opportunity for collective and personal transformation. During a solar eclipse, the moon passes between your Earth and the sun, obscuring the sun's light either partially or totally. Even a partial eclipse, as in this case, creates a powerful alignment. Think of it as a cosmic syzygy, Earth, Moon, and Sun in a sacred line. In those moments of alignment, subtle energetic veils are lifted. The Sun, which for you is a source of life and a transmitter of cosmic intelligence, has its usual radiance modulated by the Moon, the keeper of emotional and subconscious energies. This interplay opens a portal in consciousness. It is as if the usual patterns are paused, and a new imprint can be made on the fabric of reality. What are the unique energetic qualities of this particular eclipse? According to the sidereal astrology, the star-based zodiac that many of your seers use, this eclipse occurs in the sign of Pisces, a constellation associated with spiritual depth, endings and new beginnings, and the mystical waters of consciousness. In the heavens, multiple planets gather their energies in this part of the sky, amplifying the theme of spiritual rebirth. We see an outpouring of gentle yet profound energy streaming through this alignment, energy that specifically encourages humanity to dissolve old illusions and surrender to the flow of the divine current. If you imagine past solar eclipses as intense bolts of energy, each with its own theme, this one is like a deep ocean wave. It carries you, if you allow it, into uncharted waters of inner truth. Why is this eclipse different from others? One reason is the timing. This eclipse falls at a pivotal point in your collective timeline. Many of you have been doing inner work, clearing past karma, healing old wounds, and questioning outdated beliefs at an accelerated pace. the stage is set for a notable leap. This eclipse serves as a catalyst that can propel you further into the new chapter of consciousness you've been preparing for. It is as if the cosmos heard the prayer of humanity for change and responded with a concentrated beam of support. Because it's a partial eclipse, the effects may be more subtle than a dramatic total eclipse, but do not underestimate subtlety. In subtlety, there can be great power. This energy works inwardly, touching the subconscious layers gently but surely. It's almost like a loving whisper from the universe saying, "It is time. Let go and step forward now." Another factor making it unique is its connection to higher star energies. We, the Lyran Collective, along with our brethren from Sirius and other star nations, are aligning our support with this eclipse. There is a particular resonance between this alignment and the frequencies of Lyra's stargates. In simplest terms, this eclipse creates an opening through which Lyran light codes and Syrian wisdom can more readily flow into Earth's field. You may think of it as various celestial groups joining hands during this eclipse to send a unified wave of love and activation to humanity. In meditation or quiet moment during the eclipse, if you tune in, you may sense this supportive presence, as if stars themselves are singing to your soul. The relevance of this eclipse to the current chapter of human ascension cannot be overstated. Humanity is at the tail end of one grand cycle and on the cusp of another. In spiritual terms, you are concluding an age of separation consciousness and entering an age of unity consciousness. The themes illuminated by the sidereal Pisces energy of this eclipse include surrender, trust, and the dissolution of the old self into the greater self. These are exactly the qualities needed to make the jump from living in the mind with its illusions of separation to living in presence and unity. This eclipse's energy aids the release of what no longer serves: old identities, rigid beliefs, lingering fears, much like the final cleansing of a house before you move to a new home. It is clearing the stage for the arrival of new light. Indeed, the next eclipses to come will herald new beginnings, symbolized by the Aries energy, the spark of new life. Consider how beautifully this ties into what we discussed about prayer and presence. The eclipse encourages a global moment of surrender, a dimming of the outer light, so that inner light can be felt. When the sun's face is partially covered, you are invited to look inward and find the sun within, the eternal light of source that shines in your heart. This is a perfect time to practice the true prayer of union and the presence-based being we described. In those moments of the eclipse, even if it's just a symbolic act, allow yourself to be still. Feel the alignment of sun, moon, earth as an alignment of your spirit, soul, and body. You are the earth receiving, the moon reflecting, the sun illuminating, all at once. In that alignment, affirm your openness to the highest timeline of ascension. You might simply hold in heart, "I am ready to live from my highest light. I step into unity with Source. I embrace the new." Furthermore, this eclipse is different in how it will unfold collectively. You may notice around this time sudden shifts in societal conversations or surprising events that shake loose old patterns. Remember, eclipses often bring the unexpected. But with this Piscean flavor, the solutions will come through compassion and spiritual insight rather than through pure intellect. A surge of empathy and desire for unity can wash over groups of people. It is as if a veil is lifted and many will see with new eyes what truly matters: our shared existence, our shared divinity. This creates fertile soil for the seeds of the new earth to sprout. In summary, dear ones, this partial solar eclipse is a gentle yet potent gift. It offers you a chance to reset your course onto the path of presence and higher vibration. It is an invitation from the cosmos to step more fully into your ascended self, and to do so with trust and surrender. As Lyrans, we will be quietly holding the field of love during this gateway. Join us in consciousness, if you will. Meet us in that field by holding love and reverence in your own heart as the sun and moon dance. Together, we shall honor this milestone on your journey. Now we turn to a topic that is both cosmic and deeply personal, the realm of parenting and guiding the next generation. Even if you are not a parent in the biological sense, understand that many of you are caretakers, mentors, or examples to the youth in some way. And all of you are children of Earth and the stars, forever learning. From our perspective, raising a child is a sacred endeavor with far-reaching implications for human ascension. The Lyran Collective has observed that true spiritual parenting is less about teaching through words or doctrine and more about maintaining a stable frequency field of love as a parent. It is about being the peace, love, and light you wish to impart, so that the child grows up enveloped in that high vibration naturally. On Earth, there has been a long tradition of educating children by filling their minds with knowledge, rules, and concepts of right and wrong. Some of this has value, of course, but the new children coming to your planet, and indeed those here now, respond far more to energy than to words. Have you noticed how sensitive and intuitive many children are? Even infants can sense the mood in a room or the emotional state of a parent without a single word being spoken. This is because, energetically, children, especially very young ones, remain partially connected to the higher realms. They feel frequencies first and foremost. Therefore, the greatest gift a parent or guardian can give a child is an environment saturated in the living current of Source. What does this mean practically? It means that as a parent or caregiver, your primary task is to tend to your own alignment with Source, your own state of presence. When you keep your frequency high, by nurturing your spiritual practice, by healing your own wounds, by moving through life with as much love and authenticity as you can, you create an energetic field around you that is coherent and loving. This field is the true teacher for the child. In your consistent calm and compassion, the child learns trust and empathy. In your joy and wonder, the child learns that life is good and magical. In your moments of prayer or meditation, when you invite the child to quietly join or simply witness, the child absorbs what communion with Source feels like. These lessons register deeply in their subconscious and soul, far beyond what any lecture or rule could achieve. Understand, dear ones, children thrive when their field is saturated in the living current of Source. They flourish like flowers in sunlight when the atmosphere around them is filled with love, acceptance, and the gentle guidance of an awakened adult. This living current of Source is not an abstract concept. It is a tangible, uplifting force. You might have felt it in those precious moments of connection with your child, perhaps while reading them a bedtime story with full presence, or watching them play with pure joy, or even in moments of comforting them through tears with unconditional love. In those instances, the divine is present and palpable, flowing through you to the child and back again. It is a circuit of grace. We also acknowledge that parenting, or any form of caring for others, can be challenging for humans. There are stresses, time pressures, and the weight of responsibility. It is easy to fall into the trap of trying to control a child's behavior or future, thinking that will ensure their well-being. But consider how this parallels what we discussed about prayer. Just as true prayer is surrender, true guidance of a child comes from a place of surrender to the higher good rather than tight control. This doesn't mean lack of boundaries or letting children do anything at all. healthy boundaries set with love are indeed part of a high-frequency field, but it means you let go of forcing outcomes. Instead of saying, I must shape this young mind completely, shift to, I hold a field of love and wisdom, and I trust the soul of this child to blossom in this field. You become more of a gardener than a sculptor. You water, provide sunlight, and protect from harsh storms, but you allow the plant to grow in its unique way. In Lyra, our approach to nurturing the young has always been through vibrational example. We have ancient wisdom figures, similar in role to what you might call godparents or elder guides, who simply emanate a stable field of presence around the children. The learning that takes place in such an atmosphere is often telepathic and energetic. We see your Earth moving towards this model as well, especially among conscious families. Imagine classrooms where teachers spend time each day in quiet meditation with the students to harmonize the energy, or family homes where conflicts are resolved not by yelling or punishment, but by everyone taking a moment to breathe, feel, and speak from the heart. These are not utopian fantasies. These are very real possibilities as human frequency rises. For those of you actively parenting, we honor you and remind you that your own spiritual growth is the greatest gift you can give your children. Do not worry overly about whether you are doing it right according to any book or expert. If you are maintaining that loving frequency and genuine presence as often as you can, you are doing more than enough. When you falter, as every human does, forgive yourself and use it as an opportunity to show your child how one returns to love after a mistake. That itself is a profound lesson. In this way, parenting becomes a two-way spiritual journey. As you raise the child also raises you, calling you to higher patience, compassion, and presence. How beautifully orchestrated this is by the soul contracts you share. Know that the children who are incarnating in this era chose you, the parents, the guardians, even the teachers, for a reason. They knew that through you they would have the chance to be immersed in the frequencies they need for their mission. Many of these young ones carry very high vibrations and purposes to assist in the planetary ascension. By holding steady in your light, you provide the anchor they need to remember who they are and why they came. In turn, their fresh perspectives and innate purity remind you of truths you may have forgotten. It is a symbiotic dance of growth. The Lyran Collective watches this dance with great joy, for we see in it the seeds of an enlightened civilization taking root. Beloved ones, as we near the conclusion of this transmission, take a moment to absorb the tapestry of ideas woven here. At the center of it all is one radiant theme. The frequency of your being is the key to everything. Whether in prayer, in daily mindfulness, in navigating cosmic events like the Eclipse, or in nurturing your children, it is the energy, the presence, the vibration you bring that matters most. Human progress, as we said, is not measured by how much knowledge you accumulate or how strictly you adhere to moral codes out of duty. It is measured by how much closer you move to the vibration of love, unity, and authenticity. In other words, how much you become your true self. The great shift of ages that you are now experiencing is one where humanity steps off the stage of merely thinking and doing, and instead starts being and embodying. The mind and its dualities served their role in your evolution, but now a new chapter begins. In this new chapter, presence is your superpower. It connects you directly to Source. It aligns you with higher density realities where miracles are natural, and it links you telepathically and empathically with your brothers and sisters on Earth and beyond. Truly, as you cultivate this, you will find the veil of separation thinning. Already many of you feel a stronger intuitive sense or moments of connection with guides or a heart-based knowing that seems to bypass logic. This is evidence that you are tapping into the higher dimensional timeline that is available. We encourage you to continue this path with dedication and joy. Use the energies of the upcoming eclipse as a booster, a sacred pause to recommit to living from your heart and soul. Continue to practice the art of true prayer. Make time to sit in union with Source each day, even if briefly, simply to feel that love. In your daily activities, catch yourself when the mind races into worry or control, and gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Feel your body, notice your breath, observe the world around you with fresh eyes. These simple practices draw your awareness out of the chattering mind and into the vibrant aliveness of now. Remember also the power of surrender and trust. These qualities are not weaknesses, they are the attributes of one who knows their unity with the divine. Surrendering the ego's need to micromanage life opens the door for grace to guide you. Trusting in a higher plan allows you to navigate uncertainty with calm and courage. As more of you do this, you collectively generate an energetic momentum that propels Earth into her next octave of existence. You become co-creators of a reality founded in love rather than fear. This is what many refer to as the New Earth or the fifth dimensional Earth, not a different location, but a new vibration of living manifesting here and now through you. As you move forward, walk fiercely in love and serve the light with all your heart. Fiercely in love means to be bold and unwavering in your compassion, to stand in your truth gently but firmly, and to not shy away from radiating your light even when confronted with darkness. Serving the light, or source, with all your heart means making your life a dedication to that which is highest in you, prioritizing your soul's growth and the well-being of the whole. Do this in whatever way fits your unique life, through your work, your art, your relationships, your daily interactions. No act is too small when done in the consciousness of love. We, your Lyran family, are cheering you on from the stars. We have walked the path of ascension in our own history, and we know both the challenges and the indescribable rewards that await. Stay steadfast and remember who you are, dear ones. You are divine beings, expressions of Source in human form, and you carry within you all the wisdom and strength needed for this journey. In the grand story of the cosmos, this chapter of human ascension is a triumphant one. Know that your success is already seen in the higher realms. It is as if we are witnessing a beautiful flowering in slow motion. Have faith in yourselves as we have faith in you. The living net of light, as we sometimes call it, grows stronger day by day, linking awakened hearts across all distances. We see this net of unity shining from our vantage point, and it is magnificent. In closing, we wrap you in our love. May the light of the upcoming eclipse illuminate your inner sky. May your prayer become the sweet, wordless connection to all that is. May your mind find its rightful rest in the arms of presence. May your homes and children be blessed by the living current of Source flowing through you. And may your frequency rise and rise, singing in harmony with the new dawn of Earth. Go in peace and in the profound knowing that we are all one. Until next time, we love you and we hold you in our hearts. As you embrace this message, walk fiercely in love and serve the Creator with all your heart. I look forward to speaking with you again. I am Xandi of Lyra.